In 2008, the IRM Foundation hired award-winning photographer Paul Michael Kane for a new project that would shake the paranormal world as we know it.
At the time, I was working on a photography book called Captured, which is a collection of images I shot at Eastern State Penitentiary over the last 3 years.
In addition to capturing the eerie halls of what is known to be haunted, the IRM Foundation was impressed with Kane's ability to take evocative images of broken down and decayed dwellings.
That's kind of what I do. I take things that most people would find ugly and try to make it beautiful. One of my favorite quotes is from Jonathan Swift. Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others.
Little did Kane know he was being tapped for the resurrection of an ancient practice called Konxari.
I was hired to take photographs for each of the 88 Konxari cards. The cards are meant to be a cross between tarot cards and a Ouija board. The idea was to make the cards work for contemporary professional ghost hunters, but yet make them accessible to the casual reader.
But sometimes you have to look beyond the obvious and read between the lines.
To avoid cliches with metaphysical stereotypes, it was decided early on to use real photography as opposed to digital special effects.
The interesting thing about the photos is that Paul Michael Kane used no Photoshop in putting these together.
One of the things the IRM Foundation and I were on the same page with was no cheesy digital splicing or pixel pushing. The images were processed using Adobe Lightroom and using traditional darkroom techniques for the digital age. Everything you see in the image was there at the moment of capture.
Kane resides in his home studio, tucked deep into the Appalachian Mountains of New Jersey. Here he works on an assortment of projects, both as a professional graphic designer and photographer. While most of the Konxari images were shot in locations across New Jersey, several of them were conceived across the nation's reaches. And yet, many were shot in Kane's home studio.
You know, these cards are supposed to be creepy, so I hope this doesn't spoil some of the magic.
The 88 Konxari cards are broken into 9 categories or subsets. The first is sensory cards, which indicate the 6 senses.
The image for third eye could have been achieved through cheesy Photoshop effects. I could have just plopped a third eye. We didn't want to do that. Third eye to me meant illuminated, in a receptive state. So what I did was I used the white balance on the camera to make the image very cool blue. And all I did was grab a flashlight and held it just out of camera range so the beam of the light shone on the forehead.
The next set is character cards, which represent someone that is contacting you or someone living that is being sought after from the other side.
You served as a model for a number of the Konxari cards. Do you know which one's your favorite?
This one.
That one? Oh, turn it around so they can see it. Oh, it's the father card. There was no bribes or anything. Why is that your favorite?
Because it has both of our hands in it.
Really?
And it's so adorable.
It's so adorable. Some of the images we knew exactly what we wanted, and some of them happened spontaneously. The girl card was Thanksgiving dinner. We were at my grandmother's, and my daughter, she got shy about something. She got painfully shy and put herself in the corner of a room. I thought that was a really creepy thing to do. I always have a camera right nearby, so I grabbed the camera. I shot about 5 or 6 images, and I'm like, in my head, I got the girl card. So I turn around to Thanksgiving dinner, and my entire family is staring at me like, what are you doing? Your daughter's standing in the corner, all upset, and you're taking a picture? Do you remember this? Why did you do that? Why did you put yourself in the corner? You don't want to talk about it? You were shy about something, right?
Mm-hmm.
What were you shy about?
I don't want to talk about it.
Probably the creepiest thing that happened to me during the entire Konxari shoot was for the sister card. I got that doll specifically for this card. I knew we wanted a creepy doll in the set. So it arrived, I shot it on location, and promptly hid it so my 4-year-old wouldn't find it and get all creeped out. So I buried it in a closet in my office, just behind my desk. So a few weeks go by, and I'm working. All of a sudden, I hear this music box going off, and I have no idea what's going on. I'm looking all around, I'm not getting out of my seat, and then it dawns on me it's coming from my closet. I'm thinking, what's in my closet that could be making it? And it's the doll. 3 weeks go by. I didn't know there was a music box in it. I certainly didn't wind it, and it was really, really creepy.
Next are the 15 location cards.
And these indicate where something has happened, is happening, or could happen soon.
Obviously, since these are location cards, they were shot on location. The most difficult shoot in this set was for the attic card. I set the camera up on a tripod, and I had my wife trigger it remotely. I did all the focusing and the f-stop. So, pull down the ladder, crawl up the attic. She pushes the ladder up as I'm spread eagle over the framework around the attic. I've got each of my knees planted down. I'm on the threshold of the attic with my head balancing the rest of my upper body. So I have no protection up there. So I'm holding the attic door with my hands, holding my whole body up over the chasm of the attic with my head, and having my wife take the picture. So that's an artist suffering for his artwork.
The bedroom scene. This one to me, it's obviously a bedroom, but it looks so much similar to a crime scene.
Next are the 8 victim cards, which may indicate how someone on the other side has passed.
The suffocation card. In my head, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure how I was going to accomplish it. I grabbed a white bed sheet and hung it from a backdrop stand. I wanted my wife, I had her stand behind it just to see what would happen, and then lit her not once but twice from behind at 2 different 45-degree angles. So we get that little light refraction going if you look at my wife's fingers. And it just created this real ethereal suffocation imagery.
The 10 time cards can represent when something has or will happen, or when you should investigate something further.
While some of the cards are very creepy, and they are, a lot of them are quite beautiful. The always card is something that I'm very proud of. And there's a funny story with it. You know, it's a very majestic scene. There's a bird soaring through the clouds. It looks like this wonderful hawk or an eagle. That is a turkey vulture. And while flying, they're graceful, they're beautiful, just as beautiful as a hawk or an eagle, but when they're on the ground, they are hideously ugly.
The 9 obstacle cards convey a temporary block between the reader and those trying to communicate from the other side.
For the suffering card, this is going to sound horrible, but I used my daughter's pet fish.
Fishy!
She actually got this fish when she was 2 years old. So I thought, wait a minute, when I'm cleaning out Fishy's bowl, that's the name of the fish, I can take fish out of water, right? That's suffering. I got him all ready. I got my tripod set up. I got my camera on top of it. I just dump him onto this plate. I took about 30 or 40 shots in a matter of 9-10 seconds, and then promptly dumped him back into the bowl. Now, I'm happy to say that was last year. Fishy is still with us.
The 6 equipment cards indicate modern ghost hunting tools that a professional paranormal investigator would use. The 12 energy cards express unseen forces that come into play. They serve as an adjective of sorts to the overall message.
I knew I needed to have a skull in the card set somewhere, and it turns out we used it twice, but where am I going to get a skull? Of course, the world's largest flea market bought a skull off of eBay. I wanted to bury the skull, karma coming back to bite somebody. I didn't want to dig up my yard. So I got a box and went to the hardware store, got some soil. So I put the skull in the box, dumped the soil over it, and took it like a paintbrush like you'd see on like CSI or something, and just slowly revealed the skull. It wasn't selling it. It didn't sell the image. So I went outside, grabbed a bunch of leaves, threw it in the box. There we go. I just shot right over. This is in my living room. I'm shooting a box of dirt with the skull in it in my living room. The angel and demon card, that's actually the same model that I used for both cards, because I reasoned a demon is nothing but a fallen angel, and it's a garden statue that's right in my front yard. For the angel side, I did what's called a high key treatment on the image. I shot it on a white background. I kind of blew out the highlights with a more powerful flash. For the demon card, I lowered the vantage point and threw a red gel over the flash and messed with the white balance on the camera to make it a lot hotter of an image.
Daddy,
Yeah, I know. It's the same angel.
I meant.
Oh, they're touching. Sorry.
It's okay.
You gonna fire me?
No,
Okay.
nobody gets fired from this job.
That's a good thing. We wanted the aura card to convey energy, and I thought that would be the perfect subject, is lightning. If you look right behind me here is where I shot the aura card. So I'm standing out here in a lightning storm with a metal tripod out in the open shooting the storm. Just set the camera on the tripod with the cable release, triggered it as soon as I saw a flash of lightning. So we get some amazing storms here, and it's just the perfect location.
It falls down from the sky and it can hurt you.
You have to be careful.
Last are the 15 message cards, which are crucial to what the spirits are ultimately trying to communicate.
For the legend card, I wanted to do something historic, and I found the front page of a newspaper article about these voodoo murders, and it had these great mugshots and demonic symbols on the cover. I thought, what better symbol for love than a wedding ring? So I took my wedding ring and I placed it into the crease of a book. The book you actually see up above me. which is a 1920 edition of Edgar Allan Poe's work, and lit it from behind. It made the perfect heart-shaped shadow in the crease of the book.
The dream card is my absolute favorite. I love this card. It conveys so much with just a simple picture.
I wasn't really sleepy, but I didn't dream of anything.
So here we are in Newton Cemetery. It's a place where I shot a lot of the cards for Konxari. What we're going to look at here is actually the back of the card. This door, I think it's copper. It's just the patina on it served for a great texture, and it worked perfectly. The cards are obviously very personal to me. The Konxari cards are a great chapter in my career. Hopefully the images I've created will stand the test of time and become a staple for the next generation of Konxari readers. Whose creepy eye is that? I'll give you a hint. It's always watching you.
It's
What's the creepiest card you see here? What's the scariest?
none.
None? Are they all pretty?
Mhm.
That's nice. Thank you.
Welcome. Nice picture of that.
Thank you. I
Welcome.
appreciate that.
Wow, that's a beautiful picture.
Thank you.
Welcome. I love the dad card.
The dad card. Oh, the dad card loves you too.